president feeling very frustrated this morning and using some salty language. It looks like the F-bomb diplomacy worked.
A few moments later.
It's a pretty foul mouth of her for someone that went to a tidy little all-girls Catholic school.
Before we get into this topic today, give me a few seconds to talk about something that I think is very important. There is a fundraiser on this video for the National Network of Abortion Funds that I'm asking you to donate to. Whatever amount, any amount, no donation is too small. Every year, Brittany Page and I run a fundraiser during the month of June to recognize the continued fallout of the overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022. Across the country, women are still in desperate need of essential health care that they are sometimes forced to flee the state in which they live to obtain. That's where the National Network of Abortion Funds comes in. They work with nearly 100 independent abortion funds to ensure women who contact the funds have access to factual evidence-based information, but also these funds provide financial and logistical support to those who need to travel to obtain an abortion. Your donation could help them cover the cost of the procedure for someone desperately needing it, as well as the costs associated with transportation out of state if that's necessary. If you are not in a financial position to give to this fundraiser, please don't feel any pressure to do so. You can simply share this video with a friend, share information about the National Network of Abortion Funds, and try to make some people more aware of these organizations that are doing this critical work. If you can donate, I would encourage you to do so while we are running this fundraiser and trying to generate as much support for this very worthy cause as we can. Thanks. Look, stick with me here. Stick with me. I know that I talk about Republican hypocrisy a lot, but very rarely do you get an example this insane like what took place on The Five yesterday with Emily Compagno, their legal analyst, I guess. Very strange stuff here. They're talking about, well, let me just give you the lay of the land here. Recently, Jasmine Crockett said something about Donald Trump's unprovoked and unconsulted with Congress attack on Iran, violating Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution, which gives Congress the sole authority, the sole mandate, the sole power to declare war. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is what it says. Congress has the power to declare war, not the president, not Donald Trump. And Jasmine Crockett made a comment about, I want to get the quote right here, that I'm the one that's supposed to make the effing decision to bomb Iran. Not meaning her solely, but her as a member of the 535 members of Congress, the 435 in the House and the 100 in the Senate. She is one of those voices. It's up to her to decide whether to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, again, of the Constitution, right? So this mashup that I give you that is a remarkable set of hypocritical statements is in the same show, just minutes apart. She's giddy over Donald Trump saying the F word related to Israel and Iran. And she's disgusted, no, not disgusted, repulsed by Jasmine Crockett saying it in the same show, the same outfit. The same lady with the same mouth says these things. Even for a Republican, even for Fox News, this is insane. I mean, when you watch those mashups that like Seth Meyers will brilliantly put together, or the people over at The Daily Show or John Oliver, when they put the mashups together, usually it's a few months apart, or it's an amalgam of clips over the course of a whole midterm, or during Obama's presidency, and showing Fox News flip-flopping depending on who they're talking about. Very rarely, if ever, do you get an example of it in the same exact program on the same day, during the same episode. Nutty. First, let's start with how the program started, them talking about how wonderful Donald Trump's F-word diplomacy was, or whatever she calls it. And then we'll move on to a little later in the show when she's repulsed by Jasmine Crockett.
President Trump in Amsterdam for a high-stakes NATO summit, fresh off a wild 24 hours testing the ceasefire he brokered between Israel and Iran. The president feeling very frustrated this morning and using some salty language as he lashed out at both countries, accusing them of violating the agreement that he hopes will lead to peace in the region.
I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. You understand that?
But it looks like the F-bomb diplomacy worked.
Did you catch all that? The president feeling very frustrated this morning and using some salty language as he lashed out at both countries, accusing them of violating the agreement that he hopes will lead to peace in the region. But it looks like the F-bomb diplomacy works, so kind of giving the president a pass, kind of giving Donald Trump a pass, kind of allowing the cult leader to evade any criticism whatsoever. Now, when you're not a cult leader, like Jasmine Crockett is not, and you're not revered by the cult, Fox News, you get criticized. Your use of the F word is repulsive. Yeah. Crazy that this took place just minutes after she said what she just said that you watched. Watch this.
Kills me. Guys, I was particularly repulsed by Rep. Jasmine Crockett's comments where she said, I'm the one that's supposed to make the effing decision on bombing Iran. And it reinforced to me why that's exactly not the case, right? We know that constitutionally that indeed it was reserved for the commander-in-chief for that reason that we see, or at the time, commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy, but for that reason, that's the person elected by the people that we entrust those decisions to. And I feel like, first of all, it's a pretty foul mouth of her for someone that went to a tidy little all-girls Catholic school.
I know she doesn't particularly talk like this, but I can't help but read it in this voice. Guys, I was particularly repulsed by Representative Jasmine Crockett's comments where she said, I'm the one that's supposed to make the effing decisions on bombing Iran. And then she goes through her completely ahistorical lack of understanding of the Constitution, even though she purports to be a lawyer. Apparently skipped constitutional law that day. And then she finishes it with, and I feel like, first of all, it's pretty foul-mouthed of her for someone that went to a tidy little all-girls Catholic school. Guys. As an aside, it doesn't really matter. It's not important. But where does Fox News find these people? I mean, is there like a casting call for dipshits? How do they find this level of just indecency? I think that rabid, freakish hypocrisy is like a prerequisite for hiring. You know how some jobs will say you have to have a degree or you have to have an MBA or you have to have a certificate in programming languages or whatever. I think when they do, they put their applications out on Indeed or whatever. Fox News is just saying, look, you got to have no shame, no dignity. You just got to get out there and lie like the best of them. Or just be a bigot. I don't know. Not looking for a job at Fox News, so don't have to worry about it. Anyway, did you see this? I mean, if you did, hey, stop watching the 5. Leave it to me to bring you the clips. But I'd love to know what you think. Is this remarkable or is it not? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at Dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you guys. If you feel the same about me, if I bring you value on a video by video basis, please consider we're trying to grow this operation. I am hiring people. There's big changes happening on this channel. And you can be a part of it. You can click the join button below for $2 a month. You can help us make monumental changes with this particular independent media outlet. And I would love to see you on the team. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt or clickety-clack your browser over to Dollemore.com. Check out the merch, link to Brittany Page's channel, and subscribe to her channel as well. Giving you all kinds of homework, I guess. That's not great, but you know, I appreciate your interest in helping us grow. Follow me on social media if that's your thing. I am at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Be genuine. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be Emily Compagno. And take care. of one another.